Hey guys, Phoebe's here. This video is gonna be for people who would want to manifest or turn their visions into reality. And if you watch this video and if you recognize the pattern about life that I'm gonna share with you, please back me up on this. I would love to know your perspective. I would love to know your personal stories or experiences. So, yeah, and I'm just gonna share with you a perspective, a personal observation in the 25 years that I will have lived on February 18th. Um, yeah, I hope this helps you get one step closer to turning your visions into reality. So, I call this concept feed the algorithm. Again, it's called feed the algorithm. So, to help simplify things so that this concept is easier to understand, let's take social media for example. When we open social media, let's say TikTok, we open TikTok and let's say we're a new user, we just started doing TikTok. The application is gonna give us videos, and it's basically like the application saying, do you like these contents that I'm showing you? So now you answer through how you will react to those things. It's either you're just gonna scroll through, or you're gonna heart the video, maybe you're gonna comment, or maybe you will save that video. That is basically you telling the TikTok algorithm that you want to get more of those types of content. You're telling TikTok to give you more of those kinds of content. So now, the next time you open the application, when you scroll through your feed, and like over time, whenever you use TikTok, you will be seeing a lot of those contents that you always react to. Because data is already given to TikTok with you reacting, with you commenting, with you saving certain posts. TikTok already has information about what you like and what would you like to see more of. So now TikTok is giving you that social media algorithm. So I'm not a social media expert. Again, this is just an observation. And this is like what I learned about social media algorithm. It's basically you doing that, and then TikTok gives you more content similar to that. So the reason why I share that with you is because in life, in reality, it works, if not exactly, almost the same way as social media. The algorithm, the system of how reality works, the principle is pretty much the same. So the first phase is this thing called reality, this thing called universe, right? The first phase is that it gives you something to react to. And that is how I see it. These are the visions and desires you're getting. That is the universe planting something in you. You are receiving those visions and desires. So it's like the universe is asking you, do you want these kinds of reality? So the next phase is that you react to those visions and desires. And if we're going to compare it to the social media example, in social media, what you do is you heart, you comment, you save contents, you save posts. That's how you react. That's how you tell the social media algorithm to That's basically you saying that you want more of those contents, that's you answering its question. However, in life, it will take more than doing the heart reaction or commenting. It will take more than speaking. It will take more than saving. So in life, the difference is that it will take much more physical action. And that is you giving feedback to the algorithm of life or algorithm of reality. That is basically you saying to the universe that, hey, this is the reality that I want to get more of. This is the reality that I want you to reflect back to me. And this is the reality that I want to live in. That part where you're reacting to the universe, what you want, that is feeding the algorithm. You are feeding the algorithm so that we come to phase 3. Eventually, that algorithm, the universe, is gonna show you the kind of reality that you asked for. You will come to a point after feeding the algorithm over time. Eventually you will come to a point where you are actually living in that kind of reality. That's the kind of reality you will be getting. Now, this might feel like a vague concept right now, but let me share with you a very, very, very simple, like the simplest example that I can think of. Let's say you received this vision of you just doing something fun. Or maybe you received this vision of you drawing again, like on paper, sketching again. And it's something that you used to do as a child, but things happen in life and then you forgot about it. You did not think that it was something serious. It was just something that you used to do as a child. But then one day you get this vision of you get this desire that you just want to draw something. How you react to the world, or I would say to that vision or desire, that is like the feeding the algorithm. So what would be your answer? Do you want to make that happen, or do you not want to make it happen? So let's say you do want to make it happen. The universe will not make it a reality for you if you're just merely in bed and you're just saying, "Oh, I want to draw. I want to draw. I want to sketch something on paper. I want to sketch a flower that I've seen on paper." You don't just say it. The proof that the universe will require from you is an actual act that gives it the message that you actually want, that reality. So what do? You maybe you bought sketchpad in the bookstore. Maybe you sharpened your pencil. By that time that you bought a sketchpad, by that time that you sharpened your pencil, and then by the time that you actually put the pencil on paper, you glided the pencil on paper and you tried to make these shapes, and now you have a flower on your paper. You basically turned your vision into reality. You just had that desire earlier. It was a different moment, it was a different reality, and then now you're here, you're doing it, you have done it. You have just turned your reality into something different, and that reality has aligned to the vision or the desire that you have received earlier. So that is like super duper simple example, but let's make it a layer more complex. I used to be the kind of person who loved fish fillet, but I did not know how to cook. And it was so rare for me to eat fish fillet, to be able to enjoy it and like really have it cooked in a way that I wanted to. So it was so rare for me to enjoy fish fillet. If I do want to eat something like fish fillet, it would cost a lot because I would have to buy from a restaurant. And sometimes when I do buy, when I do order, it doesn't taste good. Like I hate it. It had lemons in it, and I don't like the taste of lemon. So that reality, if we're gonna summarize what kind of reality I have back then, it was so rare for me to enjoy the food that I like, cooked in the way that I wanted to, in a way that I wanted to taste and experience it. So I have this desire at some point. I wanted to actually change that reality. I had the desire to, you know what, I want to make things happen. Now I get to a point where I'm actually cooking fish fillet. I'm able to really enjoy it and eat it whenever I want to. So I fed the algorithm of life, of the universe, of reality. What I did, one of the things that I did was learning how to do it. So I watched on YouTube, I talked to ChatGPT about it, I asked for help, the instructions, the steps, all the questions that I have answered. But that's just like the first, that's just one of the layers of feeding the algorithm, getting information. Learning it through what other people are saying, learning it through watching other people do it. The next layer to how I fed the algorithm is I bought the ingredient, or the ingredients rather. The next layer to feeding the algorithm is me being in the process of cooking, like actually doing the cooking part. So at that point, I still wasn't able to like cook really good fish fillet. And I've tried it so many times that I got to a point where, you know what, maybe it's just for me. I've already wasted a lot of resources and I'm just not getting it. I'm not able to do that. Like something's wrong. So I've already have many attempts, and I was so lucky to have someone in my life to tell me that I can keep on trying and then eventually I'm gonna be able to get it. So what happened is I kept on feeding the algorithm. You see, I had no certainty when I'm gonna be able to really get to that point. On my end, I just kept on doing the process. I just kept on doing. I just focused on feeding the algorithm. Like being in the process of just doing the experimentations, just learning, just trying this, and that. And all of those things were basically me telling the universe that I want this kind of reality, give it to me. Then eventually, I don't know how many attempts I was able to do. Pang ilang attempt na yun. I cooked fish fillet. I did it differently this time. It's not something that I've watched on YouTube. It's not something that I've learned from ChatGPT. I just thought of doing this certain something. And after I did that, so now the fish fillet is here. Breakthrough. I was able to cook something in a way that I liked, and I was able to enjoy eating it. I was able to always have the fish fillet whenever I wanted it. And I did not only eat fish fillet in like one meal, I was able to have it in like a whole day. I can eat it when I want to when I'm hungry. And then when wala ng stock, like ubus na, some other time kapag feel ko ulit mag fish fillet, it's gonna cost me very little money compared to my reality before, where I had to order sa restaurant and then it's not good and it's so costly. My reality has shifted from that to now being able to cook it myself, to enjoy it whenever I wanted to and as much as I want to. So yeah, that's another example of reality shifting, of me feeding the algorithm. I have more examples because this concept is something that I have done over and over and over again. And there's like a lot to discuss about this concept. There's a lot of nuances to it. The way that I'm saying it, I would love for you to see it in such a simple way, because it is simple. You feed the algorithm and then eventually it will give you back that reality. But then again, we're talking about life. Even if, zooming out, it really is that simple. But if we like go to the details, it will look messy. It will look different from how other people experience something. But then again, if we're gonna zoom out, it is actually just that simple. Like, it follows the same principle. The universe gives you something to react to. It gives you visions and desires. You have those visions and desires for a reason. And then you react to those things. You provide intention. Do you want it? Do you not want it? Are you gonna scroll through those visions and desires, or are you gonna give the universe the message that you actually want to have those things? And then you feed the algorithm. You act on it, and you focus yourself on the process of feeding the algorithm, and you just trust that eventually it's gonna happen. Eventually you're gonna step into a different reality. You're gonna step into the vision that you have imagined. And here's the thing. Let's say, this is like your point A, this is your point B, the vision. Let's say this is the vision, and like you're in the process of feeding the algorithm. And in the process of feeding the algorithm, maybe it's like a really long process, and at some point you just feel like giving up. Oh no, vision isn't gonna happen. And let's say you're here. Even if the vision hasn't happened yet, it hasn't turned into reality, you will have to acknowledge that you are in fact a different person from before. You are now experiencing a different reality than before. Even if it's not yet like a 180-degree change. These things that you did, you basically shifted into like another reality. Before, you weren't doing these things that you did. Before, you did not have all of these information that you gathered, that you discovered when you did these things. here in the process of feeding the algorithm, all those things that you did, you've learned something from that. You've changed. And for you guys, some of you who are already doing it, you might not call it feeding the algorithm because it's just something that I came up with based on my understanding of this concept. There are already a lot of you who are already doing this, and you might not just notice this, or maybe it's not like super evident, but if you really take a closer look in your life, you are in a different state of being. And state of being is what materializes reality. So I feel like it's like such a vague concept, and my mind is like running out of thoughts. For now, I don't know how else to explain it for now, but I do hope and I believe there will be some people out there who will be able to watch this video and be able to resonate with this. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that for this video, and I hope this helped in some way. This is just a perspective from my own experiences, from the things that I've been observing in my life, the things that I've been doing. It's not, I don't want to claim it as something like I'm an expert or like I'm teaching you the truth of the world. This is just what I'm noticing, things that I'm perceiving, and I think it's worth sharing to you because maybe you will resonate. Maybe it's something that will make you want to try it. Maybe it can shift your perspective about some things. Maybe it will validate you, or maybe it will spark some conversations in your head. Maybe you don't believe about this, and maybe you can share your thoughts also in the comment section. So now there's gonna be a discussion about this, and and your perspective also. If you have like a different perspective about this, we're gonna learn also from you. So we're just gonna be in co-creation. So that is why I'm sharing this to all of you. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'm Phoebe, and I'm just starting out YouTube actually. I wanted to share more of those things that I'm thinking in my mind. I just want to put it out there. See you on the next ones, I guess. Bye.